Hi, this is Amy.
And Missy.
And this is Pop Culture in the South.
This is our first attempt at a podcast, so everyone please bear with us. And we're learning as we go. We hope you stick around and learn all about the South, especially from us in Kentucky.
So, what is our first segment? It is called the Hillbilly Highlights, and I'm going to throw it off to our resident hillbilly, Missy Goodman.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm not going to talk too much about Hillbilly Highlights today, other than to tell you what it's going to be. One, we're going to have this segment, once a week, once every 2 weeks, whenever we really kind of feel like it, and it will be where I will take something that's happened in the state of Kentucky and explain it to you through the eyes of a hillbilly. Now, I am not a first-generation hillbilly. I come from Louisville, whatever you want to call it. It's Louisville if you're around here. But I am one generation removed. My dad grew up in Letcher County, Kentucky, which is about as far eastern Kentucky as you can get. We do not discriminate against hillbillies, and we do not put them down. But we will maybe tease them a little bit. But we'll also tell you the difference next time. What is the difference between a redneck and a hillbilly?
Okay. And today's topic is
soap operas.
Soap operas. Well, right now, if you're just looking at the mainstream ones, the ones that are on broadcast TV, we have General Hospital, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and that's it. No, Days of Our Lives is still going, but it is now on Peacock on streaming. So, since there's so few of them, I tend to take my midday break and watch all of them. It used to be during the golden age of soap operas, there were multiple soap operas on multiple channels, and you had the telenovelas going on, and those are still going on. And
don't forget, you also have streaming. You also have streaming ones too.
You also have now the independent soaps, or what some call the indie series, and the indie series have their own industry award called the Indie Series Awards. And I will say, and I mean to humble brag a little bit here, we have achieved 2 nominations in the Indie Series Awards, and our show won for Best Original Song.
But we're not for soap operas, correct?
Well, they're series, so it's soap opera series. It's everybody competing against everybody.
When you were growing up, were you a soap opera person?
Yeah, starting around the age of 9, I started watching the CBS soaps. And at the time on CBS, it was like As the World Turns, Capital, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, Guiding Light. Yes. And
now, what was your favorite soap opera growing up?
Oh, that's tough. It crossed between As the World Turns and Young and the Restless. But I loved Guiding Light too. I loved the CBS soaps. But at the same time, my mamaw and my Aunt Debbie on my mom's side watched the ABC soaps. So there would be times when I'd get hooked into those storylines too.
Now, why would you say that you were drawn to the CBS soaps? How were they different from what ABC was airing and NBC was airing? Or did you watch it just because that's what your mom watched, or your...
Actually, as I got older, I started watching more and more of the soaps on both channels. Like when I went to college in my early 20s, I would say it was the golden age of soaps. And I went to school in Portales, New Mexico. Where's that? Yeah, that's a good question. But I went there, and it was situated between 2 or 3 different time zones. So I timed it to where I could see every single soap opera that was on at that time. And that's when I really got hooked into GH. And that's when Sonny Corinthos first came on the scene. It was Brenda
Sonny.
Barrett and Karen and Antonio Sabato Jr. as Jagger and Stone. So yeah, that whole melodrama with Carrie and IGH at that time became the one that I watched like consistently, even when soaps started dying off, when I started having less time to watch TV. I stuck with GH probably because I identified with the abuse storyline as like strip joint, but it just, yeah. So what soaps did you grow up on and ultimately stick with in your adulthood?
Well, I grew up on mostly ABC soaps. My mom watched Another World for a short time. So I did remember, what's her name? Rachel off of Another World.
Yeah. Julian McMahon was on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I grew up an ABC girl. All My Children was my mom's favorite. So a lot of, Erica Kane. And One Life to Live was one of my favorites. Like when I was in middle school, I remember I would get home just in time to watch the last 15 minutes of One Life to Live.
And I got home to watch the last 15 minutes of As the World Turns.
Yeah. But I think I like the ABC, those particular ABC shows, because first of all My Children took on a lot of social issues.
Yeah.
But also they showed these strong, independent women that were not perfect. They were beautiful and they were rich and they were all these things that, we all want to be. But then, Vicky Nikki, Rod Todd, if you know that, you know what I'm talking about there. I'm talking about Vicky having DID, what is now DID, back then was multiple personalities, which I shouldn't make a joke about it, but that's the joke that was told on the show, so maybe not appropriate. But that, and then General Hospital, I would watch that one. And General Hospital wasn't my favorite to begin with, but it was the one that was on when I got home.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Young and the Restless was on at like 9 o'clock in the morning when I was in school. And then everything else was on. So then I would get to watch the last 15 minutes of One Life to Live, General Hospital, and then Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was perfect time. Perfect for a middle school kid to be watching. I got into General Hospital. Well, actually, I got into Santa Barbara, and I did turn to watch Santa Barbara. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because General Hospital started boring me, and they got into some of those crazy storylines with Casey the Alien. That was just not me. I said peace. I went to Santa Barbara. Fell in love with, Cruz, and I didn't like Eaton, but I liked Cruz. And I like Sydney Penny's character on there. I don't know what it was. Her and Jack Wagner's characters.
Yeah.
And I like the Gina.
BJ. Her name was BJ.
Yeah, and I like Gina and
Justin Dees, whatever his character name was.
And so I watched that for a couple of years till it signed off.
Yeah. And that's when BJ and Jack Wagner got married.
Yeah, and the show ended.
I'll tell you what I loved about All My Children. I want to say Noah.
Noah and Julia?
Yeah, Noah and Julia. They had the fairy tale like...
Yeah. Oh, see, I was a big, back in the day, Greg and Jenny fan.
Yeah.
I was really upset when they killed Jenny off. But I also my second favorite couple were Angie and Jesse. Which I feel like, you think about in the mid-'80s.
They were the Fab Four.
Yeah, but Angie and Jesse were playing leading role characters.
Yeah.
In the middle of the 1980s when that still wasn't being seen.
Yeah.
On main screen television.
Right.
And I didn't think about it. I actually kind of shipped Jenny and Jesse. I really did.
Yeah.
I kind of shipped them. I was like, okay, well, if she can't be with Greg, then she needs to be with Jesse.
Oh, Debbie Morgan and Darnell Williams, right?
Yes.
And I remember when they both came back, and Darnell Williams or Jesse's on the train,
Oh,
and Angie sees
Jesse.
it. Oh God!
Oh, she's
When
like,
she-
Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was a big Jessie person. I love
Yeah. And Debbie, could she cry?
Jessie. Yeah.
I loved her in Eve's Bayou too.
Yeah, she was really good in that. She's really good in pretty much everything she's in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a big Angie Jessie, even though Angie was a little bit sanctimonious when Jesse got killed, killed off.
Yeah.
And quote unquote killed off. But her and him together, I really liked.
Yeah.
And like I said, I kind of wanted Jenny and Jesse to get together. I don't know why they didn't do that, other than it would have been.
Well, I think it's the time period.
Probably.
It was the time period.
Probably.
And it's stupid that it was the time period that I say that, but that's just a fact.
Yeah. And you know, what's her name? Is it Kim Delaney?
Yeah.
She is on General Hospital. She's got like she was on General Hospital.
Yeah. She was.
And you know what was funny was I kept calling her Jenny. Every time I'd see her, I'd be like, "There's Jenny." I had no idea what the character's name was, but that's Jenny. She's always going to be Jenny for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot how much I loved Jesse. Jesse was so good, and I hated that they killed him off. But yeah.
So, what would you say is your you probably watch them all like me to some degree. What is it about NBC soaps that makes them different and makes them just kind of like...
They're campy.
Yeah, and they're just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but I've never really got into watching any of them. Other than I said, when my mom watched Another World, I would watch it with her. But yeah, I didn't. I don't get into the campiness of Days, even though I kind of enjoy hearing about it.
Oh, my favorite
Marlena being possessed. I never watched any of that, but I knew everything that happened because it was so funny. And I used to read Soap Opera Digest.
Yeah.
And but I did like Passions.
Yeah. Oh, Timmy. Mark Timmy's.
Yeah, I didn't have to watch it every day. Of course, you didn't have to watch it every day to know what's going on. But yeah, I really liked Passions because I liked Timmy and Tabitha. I didn't really care for any of the rest of them. And you know what I do remember?
What?
Sunset Beach.
Oh my God, the zombie storyline.
Yeah, I remember watching that show at like 2 o'clock in the morning because they didn't even show it during the day.
That's how bad it was.
And at 2 o'clock in the morning, back in the 90s, you had that or infomercials.
Dude, Sunset Beach wins every time. I say it's bad, but that's not really fair. I would say campy.
Yeah, it was campy.
It was like pure camp, and I think it was meant to be. So, you know.
I don't know, but it was bad. But it was fun to watch.
Remember the Cupid doll?
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember a whole lot about it because I would be watching it at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You remember the zombie scene we watched?
Vaguely. All I remember is that I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because it was fun and it was stupid.
You didn't have to think.
And sometimes you have to have stupid stuff, you know.
Well, just because you like something, you can admit that it's not really the greatest.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you that.
But there's
soap operas. But when I think about soap operas, they get such a bum rap.
Yes, even the bad ones.
Well, yeah, because they think, well, you know, when they think of it just Love in the Afternoon, which is how ABC sold it for so many years.
Yeah.
That it's all about, you know, people just, you know, hopping into bed with each other.
Right.
But soap operas are about relationships. And imagine, how much goes into putting a soap opera together. It's a bunch of talking heads.
Yes, and they shoot a show a day. They edit a show. They produce a show a day. An hour-long's worth of programming a day. Not a week, not a month, not 6 months. It's a show a day.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How much better do you think it would be, which I know they can't do it this way, but if they took more time, say they took like a sitcom, took a week to shoot a show.
You would have higher production value. They don't have money now. You know, there's a lot. I want to ask you a question, and then we'll address this other thing first. I want to ask you, what soap now is your go-to, and why?
Right in this moment, I'm really into Young and the Restless.
And why's that?
And I don't know why, because it's never been my favorite show.
It's a lot of fun right now.
It is a lot of fun. You got some fun storylines going on, and there's not a lot of new characters on the page.
They've brought back some.
There's so many characters that you have known for decades now. If you're my age,
yes.
You know, Victor Newman, got to be up there all time best soap hero. You know, villain, hero, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Male soap superstar. You know, you got the Newmans and you got the Abbotts, and like I said, like I was telling you off camera, we were talking about Jack Abbott, and I'm like, I listened to Jack, and he's so sanctimonious now. I'm like, don't you remember what you did?
You are a whole other person then.
You were a whole other, entirely different person, though. You know, to your credit.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say GH.
Well, General Hospital has probably been my favorite soap for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's still not my favorite soap, because I love to watch certain things.
Yeah.
I love Sunny. You know, I love Sunny. I love Carly. But I miss Jason. And I wish Jason was still on there. And I don't want to recast Jason. I want Jason.
You want Steve?
I want Steve Burton's Jason, because to me, he's Jason.
He's one of the few people who probably, you know, usually they recast.
Well, they tried to recast him with
Billy Miller.
R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Which Billy Miller's a great actor. I loved him on Young and the Restless. I loved him as Drew on General Hospital.
And I loved, even though he was a bad guy, on My Children.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah. But I feel like General Hospital's missing something, and I don't know what
Sonny's boyfriend. I say that in jest, but it's like Jason is Sonny's best friend.
His hetero life mate.
His hetero life mate, as Kevin Smith would say.
Yeah. I feel like General Hospital's missing something, and it's missing in that. It's missing in its storytelling.
I'm waiting for who is, I can't think of his character's name. The actor's name is Evan Hoffer. He's kind of like the guy who's a wannabe Jason. And I'm waiting for the reveal of how he's related on the canvas.
Oh, okay.
And I think that might have got derailed for a little while because of the actors and writers strike.
Yeah, and I feel like General Hospital's taking the biggest hit on that, because they had the slowest lead time, because they didn't have anything banked. They didn't have enough banked in the system.
Right. I think Days of Our Lives was hurt the least, because they got like 6 months shot ahead.
I think why I'm saying I pick Young and the Restless right now is because it feels to me like Young and the Restless knows the characters they're writing for. And there's no, big surprises. I'm sorry, Sonny would not be kept out of the loop like he has been with some of the stuff that they've been telling with him.
Yeah.
Give Maurice stuff to do. Maurice Bernard is an amazing actor.
He's a hell of an actor.
He's got the Emmys to prove it. Let him prove it.
Yeah.
Let him go out there. Let him and Laura Wright go at each other, because they're best when they're going at each other.
Yes.
Don't let him be this little Mickey Mouse mobster with no teeth.
Yeah.
And I understand you got to watch what you do, daytime, blah, 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 blah. But, soap operas...
It's like they told Maurice, he goes, this ain't The Godfather.
Yeah, it's not The Godfather. And I don't want it to be The Godfather because it's a soap opera.
Right.
But you got to let the bad guy be the bad guy sometimes.
Yeah.
And Maurice is an anti-hero. He is not
a hero or a villain.
He's like Luke Like when they let Luke do his shit. Sorry.
When they let Luke went Luke.
Yeah, Luke. You know, Tiger didn't go crazy. Luke went Luke. Let them do stuff like that. Like let Robert do things. Yeah, you should let Robert do things like that. Let them do things that are not quite on the up and up. Excuse me.
They do have something interesting coming up. It looks like Pikeman is targeting both Sonny and Anna.
Yeah. And here's the deal. I'm going to tell you. I'm not the biggest Anna fan. I love Finola Hughes.
Yeah.
But I don't like Anna. I've never really liked Anna.
Well, I'll tell you what I do like. I like her scenes with Sonny.
Yes. I like her better now. But back in her heyday, I was a big anti-Anna. You
were pro Holly, though,
I loved
right?
Holly, yeah.
So that's probably why you were anti.
Yeah, I liked Holly. I liked Holly and Robert together. And also I understand, you know, soap operas are supposed to be about the romance, the relationships, the love stories. So you've got to have young people on the canvas.
Yeah.
You have to have young couples on the canvas.
Right.
You got to make me care for these couples.
Yeah.
You've got to.
Well, you know who the young couple I like right now is?
Who?
Trina and Spence.
Yeah, they're okay.
Of the young couples on canvas. Now, I think even though I think Eden McCoy, you know, Joss and Evan Hoffer, the actor,
Yes.
They have chemistry.
They do have chemistry. They got to figure out what his character is.
Yeah, you got to decide.
Is he good or is he bad?
Good is he, or an anti-hero?
Or an anti-hero. But I think they're wanting him to do bad things, but be a white knight, and you can't do that. And here's the deal.
Well, he can't be a white knight, but he can be an anti-hero.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's kind of like, you know, he's doing the wrong things for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And you can do that, but make him the anti-hero. Don't make him being like, oh, I'm doing the good stuff. But it kind of feels like you don't know what he's doing, why he's doing it. And Josh has got the dial back just a little bit.
Well, she's so, the character.
Yeah, the character, not the actress, the character.
The character is so Carly, and that works because that's her mom.
But
she's
the
like,
deal is, I don't think she's like Carly in the exact opposite way. Like she's Carly if Carly was a good girl.
yeah,
And I understand that. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like she's Carly and she acts like Carly, but she's so sanctimonious. I mean, come on, girl.
You know who one of my favorites on the show is? Ava.
Yeah,
Mara
West.
West.
Mara West. I wish they'd give her more to do.
Yeah. You know, she got a picture. What did you think of that? She got a picture of Austin Gatlin Holt shot in a picture, in a card, and the card was signed "Thank you" or "Thank."
Really? I didn't see that.
You're welcome. That's what it said. It said you're welcome.
Well, that kind of upsets me because I knew that they killed off Roger Howard's character.
How many times you gonna bring him back on that show, though?
Well, the problem is they don't own
what to
Todd
do.
Manning.
Yeah.
And they want him to be Todd Manning, and I want him to be Todd Manning because Todd Manning was an amazing character. He was bad.
He was bad to the bone.
Even though he wasn't completely bad, we all know that Todd was a rapist.
Yes, he was awful.
And that cannot be forgiven, and he did bad things. El Diablo.
But that Blair's love was probably... He probably loved Blair more than any... And his daughter.
Yeah,
he loved Star. He loved Star.
Didn't they have a son together, too?
No. I think... Chris... I think... daughter... The girl that played their daughter's Star... Her brother played Bo and Nora's son.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Todd was not a good man, and he would tell you he was not a good man.
Right. If you would listen to him, he'd tell you.
Yeah. But that character was so amazing to watch him play.
Yeah.
Because there were so many layers to that character.
And that had to do with his acting, that had to do with the writing, that had to do with everything. You know, I know not many people are I don't know if not many people, but I know whenever a character like Todd is recast, you fight against it.
Yeah, you know, they recasted him with
what's his name?
The guy that's on Young and the Restless.
I love him as Tucker.
I liked him on One Life to Live, and he was okay as Todd, but to me, he wasn't the quintessential Todd because he wasn't the first. He wasn't the one that gave birth to him.
Right. But, you know...
I could have lived with that, though. I could have lived with that recast.
Yes, I could have lived with that recast, too,
But you know why I think I could do that? Because Roger Howarth has a quirkiness about him.
Yes.
That I think that the actor who replaced him also has.
Yes. I actually watched an interview with him on State of Mind. And it was a really good interview. I didn't know this, but his sister died when he was like 16 or 17.
Oh, that's sad.
Yes, and so he talked a lot about, and you understand. He said, he goes, I was nervous about doing this interview, just like I'm nervous about doing any interview. But, you know, Maurice has a way of relaxing people.
Okay, well, we've talked a lot about, we've talked about some of the women of soap operas, but we've talked about a lot about the men. Who would you say were your 5 favorite all-time soap actresses or soap characters?
Oh, God. In no particular order, because, you know, there are many grand dames. I would say, right up there, I'd have to say Robin Strasser as Dorian Lord.
Oh, Dorian was amazing.
Dorian Lord is one of those wonderful characters.
Dorian's one of those characters I would love to see come back.
Yes. I would love to work with her. She right? What else? Sarah Joy Brown as Carly Corinthos. I would work with her in a heartbeat. I think she gets a bad rap because of the Mark Campbell stuff that she was willing to speak out about, which is and it killed her career.
She's an amazing talent.
She won 3 Emmys for lead actress before her 25th birthday. Yeah. It's like Maurice said, I don't need to teach her anything.
That's another thing, you know, I always thought I loved her Carly, and I still love her Carly. Her Carly is the essential Carly. Yes. Even though Laura Wright, I feel, has taken over the role because she's been in it so long and stuff. But I did not like any I mean, I ain't gonna say I didn't like them. I didn't care for the performances of the other Carlys in between them.
Okay. What I will say about Tamara Braun, I like her as Ava a whole lot more.
I did like her as Ava better.
On Days of Our Lives. And
wait a minute. No, she was somebody else on General Hospital.
Her
son died. I can't remember.
Her son, and she saw Drew inside of...
Oh, yeah. I did like her on that.
Yeah. I didn't follow that. Okay, anyway.
Well, we got 2.
Okay, so that's 2. We got...
we're a mess, people. Just go with it.
So we're going, Robin Strasser, Sarah Joy Brown, I can't think of her name. She played Sally Spectra. Darlene Connolly.
Yes.
Yes, I love that, and I love the character of Sally.
Yeah.
She was evil as the one on Young and the Restless. But I loved her Sally Spectra. She was a wonderful... Beth Maitland. I like her as Tracy.
I love Tracy.
I love Tracy. And I love the fact she's a writer.
Yeah.
That's 4, right?
Right.
Oh, that's hard. 5th. Okay. Well, I want to give 5th and then an honorable mention. I'm going to say, what's her name? Kim Zimmer.
Oh, yeah, Reva.
And then honorable mention, Cynthia Watros.
For what character?
I think she's just a hell of an actress. I liked her as Annie Dutton. on Guiding Light, and I liked her on Lost, and that's even though that wasn't a soap technically.
Yeah.
I would call it supernatural.
Okay.
And I like her as Nina.
Okay.
Even though Nina is not a good person.
No.
And does horrible things.
No.
But I love the actress. So what about you?
5 of all time.
Of all time.
Well, number 1 has to be Miss Susan Lucci as Erica.
Oh, how did I even
Approaching
miss
a railroad
her?
crossing.
Yeah, has to be.
She has to go on the list.
Yeah. 2 would probably be Erica Slezak as Vicki Lord Buchanan.
Mm-hmm. I thought she was a little sanctimonious.
I liked Vicki.
Approaching
But
a railroad
the actress
crossing.
is wonderful.
Yes, I liked Vicki. Let's see here. Who else would I pick?
Would you say Susan Flannery?
No.
No. Okay.
I mean, she's a great actress, but it wasn't like when I would sit there and I'd have to turn on the show to see what
she
was
doing
Yeah.
that day?
Nikki Newman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going old school with all these, but I'm like,
Yeah.
these are the like quintessential,
Yeah.
Nikki. I love Nikki and all the crap that Victor put her through and she put him through, and let's see here. 4, I would probably pick Sarah Brown
Yeah.
as Carly from General Hospital.
You can't win 3 Emmys before you're 25 and not be on the list.
No, I meant Melody. I didn't say her name, Melody Thomas Scott, or
Yeah.
Scott Thomas, or whatever it is. And number 5. Now that's the hard one. I'm going through my head of all the different soaps.
Robin Strasser?
She's good. She'd probably be on my honorable mentions list. I'm trying to think about who else I just loved and I just had to watch. I guess I'm going to go with Jeannie Francis as Laura.
Yeah. Laura is iconic. Say what you will.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a little kid, 5, 6 years old, watching Luke and Laura get married. So I don't know how I couldn't put her on the list. Laura was, and Laura is typically a character that I don't like because usually they're, too stupid to live. They do a lot of stupid things.
Yeah. Run up the...
Yeah. And, goody two-shoes and little self-righteous and stuff. But Jeannie Francis brings a vulnerability to her.
Yeah.
Like when they redo, they revisit the rape storyline.
They deconstructed the romanticism of that.
Yeah, and she gave some amazing work. I feel like, he was probably just a tad bit better in that scene.
Yeah.
But she
did.
She had to bring it.
Yeah, she did.
She had to bring it.
You know what? When we're talking honorable mention, if you're talking for just storyline, you have to hand it to Rebecca Hurwitz and Jonathan Jackson for that storyline.
Yeah.
Because without them,
Yeah.
I don't think you had the entrance to do it.
Yeah. And, we're leaving off people like Meg Ryan and...
Yeah, Demi Moore.
And we're leaving off a lot of big-time actors that, that have went on to win accolades.
Yeah. Well,
I think our time has ended.
And we will see you next time on...
Well, I was going to say, and next time maybe you'll get our top 5 soap actors.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, because I think it could be a 2-parter.
Yeah, I think it could be a 2-parter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so part 2, stay tuned for the best.
Bye.
Bye.